Buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most blatant smear jobs I've ever seen come out of a congressional hearing. You know, it never ceases to amaze me how the left will twist words, chop up videos, and package them into neat little hit pieces just to push their narrative. And this time, they went after Candace Owens. Yeah, that Candace Owens, the bold, fearless, unapologetic conservative voice who's been standing up for truth, for free speech, and for our constitutional values. Now, here's the kicker. Congressman Ted Lieu, Democrat, from California, decided to play a short 30-second clip of Candace talking about Adolf Hitler and nationalism. No full context, no full question, just a snippet carefully picked to make it sound like she was defending Hitler. Folks, I've seen the full clip. I know the context. And what Lieu did here is what I call political malpractice. And honestly, it's an insult to every thinking American who values honesty in discourse. Today, I'm going to break down what happened in that hearing, expose the tactics they used, and tell you exactly why this is dangerous, not just for Candace, but for all of us who dare to speak out.
Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, ranking members and Chairman Rogers. I'm pleased to be here on this committee, but I'm disappointed, sadly, with the bill that is in front of us. There's so much that we could be talking about, and so I associate myself with the ranking member's comments, with my colleagues' comments on this side of the dais. So I thought today I would just focus on ATF. The mission of ATF is to, quote, protect the public from crimes involving firearms, explosives, arson, and the diversion of alcohol and tobacco products, regulates lawful commerce in firearms and explosives, and provides worldwide support to law enforcement, public safety, and industry partners. This bill proposes a budget for ATF of $1.2 billion. It is a $418 million cut, a 48% cut to ATF. ATF, who has fewer than, I think, about 5,000 employees, 2,500 are special agents. This would require the cutting of at least 1,000 positions, and ATF, we all know, is already overworked and under-resourced. So I'm absolutely puzzled by that. ATF plays a vital role in assisting our federal, state, local law enforcement in investigating, preventing, and prosecuting violent crimes. ATF makes America safer. For example, the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, or NIBIN, is a critical tool for solving and preventing gun crimes. It allows law enforcement to link shell casings from different crime scenes and connect recovered firearms to previous shootings using advanced imaging technology. ATF's gun tracing program, E-Trace, is a vital tool for state and local law enforcement, not only to help solve individual gun crimes, but also to uncover and disrupt larger firearm trafficking. Through the E-Trace program, agencies can submit recovered firearms to be traced back to the first retail purchaser, generating critical leads and intelligence. Some of the provisions in the bill that are perplexing to me, perhaps I don't fully understand them. Page 133 of the CJS bill, section 5568. None of the funds made available by this act may be used by ATF Demand 2 program unless ATF modifies the program. Let me read to you some more other puzzling things in here. None of the funds made available may be used for a gun buyback or relinquishment program. None of the funds made available by this act may be used to fund or implement any red flag or extreme risk protection laws. That's just a few. Let me try some more. None of the funds made available by this act may be used to pay the salaries or expenses of personnel at ATF. None of the funds made available, here we go, none of the funds made available by this or any other act may be used to classify, register any firearm with an attached stabilizing brace.
All right, so here's how it went down. Lieu plays the clip. In that short excerpt, Candace says that if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and run things well, fine. The problem was his global ambitions. Now, when you hear that without context, it sounds odd. But the real context? She was answering a question about whether she thinks nationalism is inherently bad. Her point was crystal clear. Hitler wasn't a nationalist. He was a homicidal psychopath who murdered his own people. But of course, Lieu didn't play that part. He stopped the tape right before her clarification. Why? Because the full truth didn't fit the narrative he wanted to paint, that Candace was somehow cozy with white nationalist ideology. Then an expert witness was asked if those kinds of statements could feed into white nationalist ideology. Naturally, they say yes. And boom, there's your setup. Clip plus loaded question equals political ammo. After that, the hearing pivots to talking about white nationalism policy, funding for religious institution security, and even cutting the DOJ's Community Relations Service, the so-called peacemakers. Now, these are real issues worth discussing, but it's telling that the only time Candace's name came up was in connection with this misrepresented clip. Finally, Representative Reschenthaler gives Candace the floor to respond. And boy, she lets them have it. She calls out the dishonesty, points out that this is the same media-style cut-and-paste job they use on President Trump, and reminds everyone she works for Praga run by an Orthodox Jew. She even flew halfway across the world to be at the U.S. Embassy opening in Jerusalem. Does that sound like someone cozy with anti-Semitism? Absolutely not. Candace's real point here, and I 100% agree, is that the left is hell-bent on controlling narratives. They will take a good faith discussion about ideas, slice it up, and serve it to the public as a hit piece. And if you're black and conservative, oh, you're target number one.
Or other similar brace, or rearward attachment. More and more and more in here about what the ATF can't do, what our funds cannot do that would protect and keep us safer. I simply don't understand that. Why would we cut half of the resources of ATF? Why would we want to eliminate, reduce, or limit the tracing program? Why is that? ATF keeps us safer. Could someone please explain to me how this is possible?
Will the gentlelady yield for a question?
I will yield for a question, Mr. Clyde.
How do you come up with a 48% cut? I don't come up with that. I come up
Mr.
with a 24%
Clyde, I have a question for
cut.
you. Do you
No,
have a?
no, I'm asking you a question, and you said you would yield for a question.
Yes, I saw it.
So I'm asking the question, how do you come up with a 48% cut?
I'll tell you, but I want to ask you a question as well while I'm getting you that answer. Do you have a pecuniary interest in guns?
Ma'am, I'm waiting for your answer to my question.
Mr. Clyde, I think it is incumbent upon you
Ms.
in all
Dean,
of this
I asked you a
legislation
question, and you said
You're a
that
gun
you would,
dealer. We
you
all
would
know it.
yield
You
to a
just
question.
never- you
So
just-
would you please
Yes.
answer my question? That's all I'm asking. How do you come up with 48%? I
Are
come
you
up with
afraid to
24%.
say that you own 2 gun shops?
Ma'am, I'm asking a question, and I'm asking you to answer. How do you come up with 48%? I don't think it's
Take-
possible. It's not 48%. I
Take a
just
look.
want to get the record straight, all right, as to what the actual
Clyde,
cut is.
Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Mr. Clyde, I'll be happy to get you that. I can dig it out of my resources here. Now, would you answer my question? Do you own 2 gun shops? You have a pecuniary interest in this legislation. Are you going to recuse yourself from a vote?
I asked you a question. I'm waiting for
I
an
told you
answer.
I'd be happy to get that to you and to your staff.
That's fine, but I'm still waiting.
Mr. Chairman, would he like to answer the question? I have a point of order, Mr. Chairman. I have a point of order. If a person on this committee has a pecuniary interest, a conflict of interest in the legislation, should that be disclosed? Oh, could you get me the number, the 48%? It's in our opening pages. Oh, then that might be my mistake.
The point of order is not entertained. Any other members wish to make
I'm
remarks?
sorry, Mr. Chairman, I did not hear your answer. And I have a correction that I'd be happy to give Mr. Clyde.
Time of the gentlelady has expired.
She's trying to answer his question.
She may proceed.
Come up next, I'd be happy to yield her,
She may proceed.
if that's fine with the chair.
Yes.
That's the appropriate time.
Do other members wish to make opening remarks?
I do.
You can correct me. You correct me for Mr. Clyde, and then maybe I'll get an answer to his question.
I would like to have a chance to make a statement, Mr. Chair.
Gentleman's recognized. For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield the gentlelady 30 seconds.
I made a mistake, Mr. Clyde. It's a 48% to a portion of the ATF funding. It's an overall, it's a 25.7% cut, 1,000 positions. And now will you answer my question?
So here's the takeaway, folks. This wasn't about Hitler. This wasn't about nationalism. This was about power and silencing voices they can't control. We are in a time where you must demand full context before passing judgment. Don't let politicians or the media feed you edited sound bites as truth. Watch the full clip. Read the full statement. Understand the intent. Candace Owens didn't defend Hitler, she defended the truth. And if you've got a problem with that, maybe the problem isn't Candace. Maybe it's your unwillingness to hear an opposing viewpoint. Without twisting it into a weapon, America was built on open debate, on freedom of speech, and on the principle that the truth will stand on its own. But that only works if we refuse to be spoon-fed half-truths. All right, patriots, let me know what you think in the comments. Was Ted Lieu out of line? Is this just more proof that the left fears strong conservative voices? Hit that like button if you stand for truth. Share this video to get the word out. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss when we take on the next smear campaign. This is your channel name. And remember, patriotism isn't hate speech and truth isn't negotiable. God bless you, and God bless America.